Just a moment.
It's pretty easy to name crowdfunding projects that didn't live up to the hype, or outright scammed their backers. Mighty Number 9, Unsung Story, Yog Ventures, the Ouya. Failure tends to be more noteworthy than success though, so it's easy to forget certain games were in fact crowdfunded. Shovel Knight, The Banner Saga, Fly Wrench, Freedom Planet, Undertale, Shantae Half Genie Hero, Shadowrun Returns, Super Hot, and this game, Battle Chef Brigade. I was a bit apprehensive toward it at first, but that's mostly because this was what formed my first impression.
And now,
Yeah, so he's out there. He's hunting.
You better catch that pheasant. You better catch that pheasant.
Cut it
Get
down.
that yard bird.
Cut it down.
Get the yard bird.
Yup.
It's a mix of 2D hack and slash with platforming elements and rotation-based puzzle solving. Think Muramasa the Demon Blade crossed with Puyo Puyo and you play as Cooking Mama. It's a strange mix, but Battle Chef Brigade somehow makes it work. Most of the game is from the perspective of Mina Han, an aspiring chef who runs away from her family's restaurant to participate in the Battle Chef Brigade tournament, a cooking contest to join the ranks of an elite group of soldier chefs who protect and serve the land. Get it? Protect and serve? Because they're chefs, so they serve... I'll just show myself out. In the tournament, each round consists of going into the wild and hunting for ingredients, either by gathering plants and berries or fighting wild beasts and grabbing the ingredients they drop, then cooking something with them and serving it to a judge or judges within the time limit. Each ingredient is made up of orb patterns of 3 colors, each representing the elements of earth, fire, and water. Matching 3 of these in a row concentrates them into a single stronger orb, which can then be matched with 3 others of its kind to become an even stronger orb. Doing so nets extra points toward your dish, but there's a space limit, so you can't just dump all of your ingredients in at once. The judges award even more points if you use the theme ingredient effectively and match their element preference, which in the later battles can be the difference between victory and defeat. It helps that there are a fair amount of different dishes, so you aren't making the same thing over and over even if most of the ingredients used are the same. I wouldn't rate this as high as, say, Muramasa or Dragon's Crown on the food porn scale, but it's still enough to elicit the occasional... There's more than just matching orbs though, as you can equip items for hunting and cooking that give stat boosts, make certain matches easier, or start you off with certain ingredients themed toward an element from the get-go. You can bring 3 pans to battle, and each pan has its own special properties, like making it so you only need to match 2 of a certain element instead of 3, or protecting fragile orbs from breaking and weakening the moment you touch them. As such, you'll often start cooking a dish in one pan and swap it back and forth between other ones. This, the time limit, and sometimes having to cook multiple dishes in a single round gives a sense of urgency to both the hunting and the cooking portions. As for the hunting, it plays a bit differently depending on who you're controlling. Mina's a rogue, so she has a lot of fast dagger swipes, a couple of wind-based magic spells, and the ability to dodge through enemy attacks. When you get to the parts where you control Thrash the Ogre though, he's a berserker. He uses fire magic, blocks and counters attacks instead of dodging them, and has slower but stronger attacks which build up a berserk meter, letting him absorb unnecessary ingredients instead of having them clog up inventory slots. Outside of the tournament, there are 3 other side jobs to do which, depending on your performance, get more gold coins you can use to buy better equipment for tournament matches. There's a place to solve cooking puzzles, with a move limit instead of a time limit, a place to work on hunting certain wild animals, and a restaurant where you form certain color patterns to cook dishes as fast as possible. It's taking the same gameplay from the tournament matches, but breaking it down into 3 different parts so you can focus on getting better at each. And if that's not enough, there's a practice kitchen for this as well. Beyond the main story, there are a couple other modes, Daily Cook-Off and Challenges. Daily Cook-Off has you pick a character and equipment loadout and play a round of what is essentially the tournament. Challenges consist of speed cooking, which is exactly what it sounds like, and break the dishes, which is exactly what it sounds like. Everything has its own online leaderboard, though I was a bit miffed that Break the Dishes only has 2 stages each for Mina and Thrash. Hopefully they decide to add more later. I'm actually a bit surprised how much I ended up liking Battle Chef Brigade. I compared the cooking puzzles to Puyo Puyo earlier, but I absolutely hate Puyo Puyo. It's all about cooking, but I don't care about cooking to the point that I can barely make food like this. Even so, I was on board with Battle Chef Brigade the whole way through. $20 may be a bit much if you're not interested in the daily cook-offs or getting really good at the challenges, but if it ever goes on sale, I would definitely recommend it. Now if you'll excuse me, this quesadilla won't eat itself.